Before starting the video, this is not a video or a theory that I try to make my own story of this little side story of the Slendytubbies 3 campaign. I actually tried looking for resources and stuff from the lore to connect with this little story so it can actually make sense. Also, I made this myself, so I don't know if it's right or wrong, so enjoy. As some people know, we can find some notes with a little story in the caves on Slendytubbies 3 campaign in the floor. The first note, called Day 1, says, "Today I decided to write a journal to tell my adventures with the bestest friends ever." You may be saying, why do you make best friends bigger? It's because Slendytubby in his idle noises, he says, "You are my bestest friend." And that's not all, because in the same note he says, "They are my only but best friends and I love them." And guess what he says? Which right now it makes me think that he wrote the note, since he says that in the note and he says that in his own voice when he's infected. So now that we know that he wrote the note, in another note called Day 54, it says 53 has been feeling sick. This 53 guy can either be Arrow-tubby or Cave-tubby, because Slendytubby wrote the note, so he can be 53. And in the last note called What Day Is It? It says, "They're gone! Turned into a monster! Ran away and I might not see him ever again." So about the ran away, you guys know this guy, right? Unit 437? This guy in the campaign said, "My original directive was to kill the master before escape from the mainland." What he calls master is Slendytubby, and this robot might work with the Code Man. Who is the Code Man? So, it all started with humans. A huge epidemic happened, and it was killing most of the population. Reproducing wasn't an option anymore. People would just die before they were even born. The human race was so desperate to maintain their species. They tried what they thought impossible, sorry. They created a machine to create more humans. However, the machine didn't come as I suspected. The anatomy of these artificial humans was different. Their skin was furry and they had televisions in their bellies. They had no fingers in their hands, they had no toes in their feet. So basically, the Code Man made the Teletubbies as an experiment so they can do testings with them before they extinct. So with this information and the robot, we can maybe say that these three guys were in the mainland when this happened. So with the new information, we can maybe say that the robot guy was chasing Slendytubby, trying to get him back to the mainland, but he sadly didn't got him. And Slendytubby went to the mountains. If you choose "Who are you" in the dialogue with the robot, it says, "I am Unit 437, a security droid created by the machines. My original directive was to kill the master before escape from the mainland. However, once I encountered the master, I knew I was not capable of beating him." What he means about defeating him is that maybe he already took a custard and transformed what he is now. So if in the note it says he ran away and he wrote a note, then who was writing on it? This can possibly be Orange-tubby or Arrow-tubby. In the first note it says, "This Code Man brought us papers and crayons to draw what we want." So the trio was sharing the paper with someone else, which it can be Orange-tubby. There's also two mentions about Cave-tubby and Orange-tubby in the campaign, first being Chapter 0. On Guardian's computer there's a binary code that says the Orange-tubby must be killed. The Cave-tubby is mentioned by Lala, which he says, "I had a tough time going through that horrible brown monster" in the Chapter 2. So what I'm thinking is that Slendytubby ran away and took a custard and got infected. Cave-tubby took a custard as well because he said he was feeling sick, which is kinda similar to something Lala said in the Chapter 2. After that, he turned into a monster and that's it. And Orange-tubby maybe got killed and they contained him in the training maze, which he found a custard and he turned into what he is now. This is not their order too, because I'm pretty lazy to edit it, so the order is Cave-tubby, Slendytubby, and Orange-tubby, the order they got infected. So with this big ass information, we can say that Cave-tubby is the first infected, Slendytubby wrote the note, and Orange-tubby finished the note. Also, in the first note it says this, "I hear cold men, I must hide the journal. They will punish me with electricity if they found out." After that, he says, "Anyway, testing has been painful lately. They made me..." Since it says it's painful, maybe he was bleeding because of the electricity. When Cave-tubby was turning into a monster, Orange-tubby got desperate and started writing like this. As he was really scared and everything, he ran out of crayons, so he had to use Slendytubby's blood to write a run on the paper. And the end. Thank you guys for watching. It took me about 3 hours of me digging into wiki, into game lore, playing the game to actually know about dialogues and some stuff, about the chapters too and everything. I tried to make like sense. I tried to connect the in-game lore with the notes, with the side story of the trio. I didn't try to make my own story by myself or something fake. I tried to connect the stuff and actually make sense. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can put a comment down below if you guys want to give an opinion or something about this little story to tell me if I did bad or good or something. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video and see you next time. Tubby, bye bye.
I am whiting it. I am whiting it. I'm whiting it. I'm whiting